Let's begin by settling the body, adopting a stable, comfortable, upright position serviceable for meditation. So we think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open. Hands in the lap, right over left with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, making sure we let in enough light to remain alert. We try to maintain an awareness of not slouching, not leaning. And we also let go of any unnecessary tension or rigidity in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position, just allowing the body to fall into place. And we begin to let go of attending to the outside world, allowing sights and sounds to be as they are, without investigation, constraining our awareness just to the body and mind. And begin to concentrate that awareness in the present by attending closely to the physical sensation that accompanies the in-breath and the out-breath, and the space around the opening of the nostrils. Giving ourselves the instruction to notice quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind, and then without judgment or frustration to lift our awareness up from those distractions and to place it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. And when the mind feels more calm, begin to establish broad altruistic motivation by bringing to mind other sentient beings, those you know, those you work with, spend time with, people you read about or hear about in the news. Think of the ways in which they themselves are motivated by the wish to be happy, the wish to be free of even the slightest negativity. Thinking of the sufferings of the various types of existence, the sufferings that are incumbent upon the animal realm, the fear of predation, the fear of slaughter, being exposed to the elements, the even greater sufferings of the hell realms and the hungry ghost realms, even the suffering of the upper realms, where, although there's no necessarily overt suffering, all of their good karma is running out without being replenished, and soon they will fall back. Think of those who seem to have all of the necessary inner conditions, outer conditions, but are completely immersed in the 8 worldly concerns, only thinking of power, status, wealth, reputation, the fear that comes from losing whatever amount of status, reputation, comfort, fame, wealth one has amassed. And think no matter what their appearance, no matter what their manifestation, in whatever way they can, they deeply wish to be happy, deeply wish to be free of the suffering that's arising in their lives. Think how wonderful it would be if all of these sentient beings had happiness and its causes, were free of suffering and its causes. If they were together with the happiness that is free from suffering, uncontaminated, pure happiness. If they were free from the state of partiality, only caring for some sentient beings, having aversion for others. Think strongly, may I cause all sentient beings to abide in this way, and may I myself abide in this way. I think the purpose of engaging in this meditation is to bring that about. And with that motivation, as Geshe-la continues to teach on mind training, today we'll focus on ways that we can transform the idea of our own problems into the causes of our own happiness. So we think I myself am trying to engage in a spiritual path, and yet still I myself meet with obstacles and difficulties that are both internal and external. I think if I don't develop the ability to transform them into the path, to experience them as not different than my spiritual path, it will be easily overwhelmed. It will give in to discouragement. So bring to mind one of these obstacles in your own life. Be specific. You can hold more than one in your mind if you have trouble picking. And notice in your mind how aversion is strongly arising. The wish to be separated. Notice the discontented, unhappy quality of the mind. And think one way of relating to these difficulties is to recognize that the more one becomes devoted to one's spiritual path, the more sincerely one wishes to be able to overcome the self-centered mind, the more one is likely to be presented with opportunities by having connected to enlightened beings, one's teacher. These manifestations, these opportunities could be presented in one's life to provide the vehicle, the method for truly transcending the narrow, egoistic self-preoccupation. This could be the way in which we are being guided as we pray for. We see that as being incredibly lucky. So if you connect with this way of relating, try to think along those lines. And then think that also, as an ordinary sentient being, I am not beyond the influence of karma and affliction. So, do I expect irrationally that there ought to be no problem within cyclic existence? Do I keep looking for true happiness within cyclic existence? Do I keep hoping that I can find some way to make it work? Try to see this problem as reminding you of the shortcomings of remaining in cyclic existence, remaining under the influence of negative karma and affliction. You can think, if I can use this problem to reduce my pride, to generate the mind of definite emergence, the mind that is aimed at ending suffering. And this can be the fuel for my eventual enlightenment. And then as well, think of the fact that you are not the only one experiencing such a difficulty. There are countless other living beings experiencing exactly the same problem, the same frustration, pain. I think any of the sentient beings in the lower realms would trade their life for one's own in an instant. There are countless sentient beings for whom our troubles would be a blissful, completely trouble-free existence, one that they would happily endure at all times. So in this way, allow your difficulty to open your heart and touch the ground of suffering that is universal. And then generate the wish that by experiencing this obstacle on behalf of all sentient beings, may they be free of just this very kind of suffering. And try to rest your mind in that courageous attitude. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. We'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that by having engaged in this contemplation, you've actualized that motivation which has generated positive energy in your mind. And think that you freely offer the fruit of your practice, that positive energy for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking strongly when this positive energy ripens, may it serve as a cause and condition to eliminate war and conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of full enlightenment. May I too achieve the state of enlightenment so that I might work for the benefit of sentient beings perfectly. May any obstacles facing the Guru's long life be completely dispelled. And may I and all sentient beings in this moment come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you.
Thank you.